Let's try this out. I've had days where I... Sounds pretty good. Let's go. I got a testimony to tell you. I've had days where I could not eat. I've had days where I could not sleep. Now I've had days where I wanted to end everything, but you held my hand and you wouldn't let go. I've had days where I thought I lost my mind. I've had days where I gave up the fight. So I have days where I look back and cry, 'cause you held my hand and you wouldn't let go. You wouldn't let go. You wouldn't let go. No, 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 no. Days where I question my gift, and I've had days where nothing seemed to make sense. Should I be here or even be doing this? But you held my hand and you wouldn't let go. I've had days where I listened to the enemy and let him tell me what was inside of me. Now I have days where I look back and cry, 'cause you held my hand and you wouldn't let go. So hard, I wanted to let go. I almost gave up, but you wouldn't let go. I lose my grip, but you held on tighter. You pulled me closer. Who we talking about? Say Jesus. Jesus. The one who won't let go.
right. Good job.
Only Jesus can save us. Got the power in us, to free us from this world. And Christ is the door, run the Father, Jimmy in, cause the word of the Spirit it burns. The beginning of the end of the rock. Go, be in that new flow. Come on, that's more than this. No question. Man, they knew in Christ, and I know that they do dislike how he's holy, yet truly. Life loud. I will live life loud. I will live life loud. Live loud. Live loud. I will live life loud. I will live life loud.
In the air, they say I'm a Black Panther. Living half dead, racism is a cancer. They try to tell me that the Lord is not the answer. I'm young, black, and handsome, live like an anthem. You pick up your gun, I pick up my Bible. And we both using it for survival. But when sin towers over like the Eiffel, you use it as a rifle, I use it for revival. I'm not out here trying to hide something. Man, I'm out here trying to provide something. Tell the world to pick up the cross and deny something. So when the Lord come back, they won't hide from him. But it's my blackness, it's y'all whackness. Y'all want me to be quiet and passive, and believe when y'all tell me I'm average. I'm sorry, you cannot have it. I want my freedom. Yeah, come on now. Man, I want my freedom. Yeah, hey. The Lord told me I could get my freedom. Yeah, come on. You cannot have it. I want my freedom. Hey. Come on. I told my son to his face, you could be anything. I told my daughter, you can do everything. I told my wife that you are my everything. And I'm aware that my God give me everything. Hands in the air, officer, don't shoot. Give my life to the Lord, man, I swear bear fruit. Why am I so afraid of death soon? But there I go again, blaming the tree because of the root. It is some levels I won't stoop. I see the devil at close view. But I got me a shovel and I will live like a rebel. And I will live for the truth until I'm through. Can't nobody stop me, I go kamikaze. Take it what is mine, this is not a hobby. Do it for the body, walk up in the place. Bitches wanna party, lighty-dotty. You ain't gotta be looking like me, but I want my freedom.
Isn't free, but I still believe that a mind born in captivity longs to be free. Like jail cells long for broken bodies to cage the curiosity. We become a menace to society, and the only thing freeing us is the breath that escapes our lips, only leaving those behind us 6 feet deep in uncertainty. Mama always told us to keep safe till we locked ourselves away in our own prejudices and keyed into a bias that we would never be free. We could barely detect the truth from the lies, absorbing the heat of the day with the darkness of the night. We almost forgot that darkness can't snuff out the light when it chooses to shine. Like the sun can't do anything but tell the story of a time it allowed the stars to fall asleep long enough for it to dawn on them to rise. We are the uprising of the mind breaking free into an infinite highway of a sky that fuses our colors into a kaleidoscope painting spoken into existence with one single phrase. Let there be, and there was. So we should mirror the same cry. Be free.
Omaha's #1 Christian hip-hop radio show, The Humble Kingz.
What's going on, world? I don't know if GT can hear the music or not. Oh, okay. Let me turn it up a little bit. This is the Humble Kingz radio show. And we have a special one here today. Can you hear now? Oh, okay. Well, I'll fix that in a second. We have a special show here today for everybody. As you can see, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, Twitter, Smashcast, Twitch, or Periscope, you see that we got a lot of people up in here, a lot of Omaha artists that's in the building right now, including Roger that. So we're going to talk about what's been going on today. Today is actually Tuesday. It's Blackout Tuesday. So we're actually not going to be playing this on Tuesday. We'll be playing it on Thursday. If you're watching this Thursday, you're watching it now because we're standing with the Blackout Tuesday. But we're going to talk about what's going on in our community. We're going to talk about what's going on in the world today, injustice and everything else in between. We're just going to have a great conversation. We're not putting anybody on a time limit here. Everybody understands that there's a lot of people in here, so we got to be patient. But we're just, as long as this conversation needs to go, this is how long the conversation is going to need to go. So we're going to get to some music real quick, and we'll come back and we'll introduce people as they are talking. Humble Kingz, y'all.
What's up, y'all? This is Jay Roach, a.k.a. Mr. Hilarious Hope, and you are listening to Humble Kingz, Omaha's premier Christian hip-hop radio show.
Confident, homie, I'm confident. I'm up on YouTube with comments and likes, but I promise I don't care who's watching it, yeah. Who's watching it? Pay no attention to hollering, cause none of this matters to God. I don't care about them, I'm just doing this all for him, yeah. And it's cool if you're Christian, but they don't want a Jesus freak. And rappers and haters, they talking, but that ain't gonna stop me when I go and beat the beat. And I got my lines, I'm reading with ease, and I tell them all to go read a week. And y'all wanna meet me camera, what you think, homie, you crazy? I'm looking like please, I'm living my life and I swear I'm so free from opinions. I do not care if you like me, I don't wanna fit in. That's the only way to be winning. They looking at me like, yo, we don't win it. They looking at me like, yo, is he kidding? They keep on looking at my lane and they gonna be taking. I'm trying, but the way get focused, I'm driven. I gotta get it, I got it next. I got the pick that ain't on the fence. I'm about to die for the mission, you'll never see me on the bench. I know my enemies plotting on me. That ain't gonna stop me, I'm digging it deep. This is the anthem, let them sing it till they sleep. Let them all ride on the beat, yeah. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Yeah. Throw it up like a free throw. Yeah. Throw it up like I'm Tebow. Yeah. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Yeah. Throw it up like a free throw. Yeah. Throw it up like I'm Tebow. Yeah. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Yeah. Throw it up like a free throw. Yeah. Throw it up like I'm Tebow. Yeah. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Yeah. Throw it up like a free throw. Yeah. Throw it up like I'm Tebow. Yeah.
This is an opportunity, where great things can happen, and let's be great right now. And that was our focus, and everybody believed, and we went out there and we achieved it. But it was because, one, our faith, and two, our relentlessness, and we're just gonna keep fighting.
They don't want you to win. Nope. They don't want you to win. Nope. They don't want me to be around them. Homie, they don't even care if I live. Yeah, but what I'm reppin' is for real, though. I ain't in it for the deal, yo. I'm just in it for the real flow. Spread this love on the mill flow, yeah. Ready or not, here we come. You can run, but you can't hide. I'm tired of being slowed down, cause everyone is telling me that I can't fly. And homie, I stand by. His words said he got me, so I let the tears dry. And I know I won't die, cause I know I know God. I said that I know God, yeah. So homie, I let him go talking. People be chatting, so you hit the coffin. I never listen, I get with the walking, cause I don't got time, but I hate it and scoffing. Burning up, homie, 100 degrees. They never get it, I live for the 3. They just don't know I'm not living for me, and I don't need to know I already got G. OD, it's big to me, I'm in the silence, it's killing me. I know I got it, if I got my God, he's the bigger thing. He got the shots like a referee, I do my best to become everything that's ahead of me. I look myself in the mirror like, Chris, oh, you better be focused for life. I got a feel for the destiny, yeah. I said it's big to me, I'm in the silence, it's killing me. I know I got it, if I got my God, he's the bigger thing. He got the shots like a referee, I do my best to become everything that's ahead of me. I look myself in the mirror like, Chris, oh, you better be focused for life. I got a feel for the destiny, yeah. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Yeah. Throw it up like a free throw. Yeah. Throw it up like I'm Tebow. Yeah. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Yeah. Throw it up Tebow, yeah. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Bow down like I'm Tebow. Yeah. Throw it up like a free throw. Yeah. Throw it up like I'm Tebow, yeah.
Hey, yo, what's good, y'all? This your boy K-Drama, and you're checking out the Humble Kingz, Omaha's #1 Christian hip-hop radio show.
Okay, and we are back, and we are in the building with some of Omaha's finest. I'm sorry, I do not know everybody's name in here, but eventually I am going to learn everybody's name in here. There's a few people in here that I do know. We got Ray Styles up in the building. I see Tim Moore in the building. I see Jay Crumbs. We GT's in the building, and we have
important topic that we're talking about today. Obviously, we got Ray Styles on here. He's a local MC, very familiar with the culture in Omaha. We got Bowman. I just let y'all introduce yourselves and maybe give a couple minutes just introducing yourself and what you represent. So, Ray Styles, if you want to start.
Shoot, what's good, everybody? I'm Ray Styles here, and I'm a Omaha local. Grew up here all my life, so I love this place. Do just about everything as far as hip hop is the foundation, but I'm versatile in the styles, so just represent being authentically excellent, man. Presenting the kingdom in an excellent way. So that's me. That's me in a nutshell, I guess.
For sure. If we can jump to Carl Bowman, I'm excited about him being on this call. Me and him, we got a little bit of a relationship back from the Urban Voice days, and he's familiar with some of the guys in here also. But Carl, if you can just get a couple minutes just to introduce yourself and let people know what you're about.
I'm Carl Bowman, artist, pretty much as active as artist, conscious Christian, borderline freedom fighting, some deliverance writer, you know what I'm saying? So I've been here for some time. I'm all over. I was in New York and I did a joint venture. That failed after about 2 years, and then I just signed a deal in LA with iconic worldwide entertainment / Capital Music Group, and we got some great things coming. It's just it's a process now since the pandemic, and I just believe in I'm an inspirational artist, man. That's what I do. I just try to inspire the globe, man.
Awesome. I think that's a common thread through everybody that's on this call is, we want to inspire and give hope to everybody. I'm excited about Isaac being on the call also. He has a unique voice, and obviously he's the one guy on here in the video that's not black. But he has some pretty close ties to the community. You work at Creighton, is that correct? Yeah,
that's correct.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, I'm Isaac. I'm white. I'm a white guy. But just super honored to be a part of this conversation. And just kind of want to listen and hear and understand. And like GT said, I'm a poet and been a part of that community, getting connected with different open mics, and just kind of seeing Omaha through those eyes. And it's just it's been so awesome to kind of get to know Omaha through those voices, through the different artists throughout Omaha. And I've only been here 5 years, but I love Omaha. it's a great city. So much going on. So much great talent. So many great people who are really passionate about the community. So, yeah.
I think the great thing about Isaac being on the call is that he is kind of a reflection of diversity in Omaha. And one of the things about this whole movement is we need everybody to support. One of the big arguments of like Black Lives Matter movement is like people say all lives matter, which is true, but we also need people that aren't black to stand with us, and we're the ones that are being prosecuted right now. So unity is extremely important. I want to wait to hop to Marcey just because he's really involved with some pretty heavy things in the community right now. But first, if we can go, Tim, he's not a stranger to Humble Kingz. He's been a part of the show before, but Tim, if you want to give a minute just to introduce yourself. Tim, can you hear me?
Oh, you on mute, Tim?
You must be muted, bro.
We may have. Hello? There we go. There we go. We may have audio problems with Tim. Let's go to somebody else real quick while we try to get that fixed.
JC, again, another person who's no stranger to Humble Kingz, but if you want to just go ahead and say what's up to the people, introduce yourself, man.
You're muted too.
Everybody know who I am. JC Music. I am the ghost of the Humble Kingz. Really, man, I'm trying to stay away from everything right now because I know me. I'm pretty upset about everything going on, but I'm trying to support at home because of me being in the position of where I am at home for my job and things. I gotta try to keep my distance so I don't lose my job. But at the same time, I'm still supporting from my home. So,
this next man needs no introduction. He's probably got the most recognition around the country than anybody on this call. So we're super excited about.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Who's that? We're super excited about Crum being a part of this call. If you can introduce yourself, bro.
That was Tim. I didn't know if you could hear me yet.
Yeah, we hear you now.
What's going on, y'all? Man, I ain't nobody, bro. I'm just, my name's Crum. Man, lived in Omaha pretty much my whole life. I've worked with youth in the inner city for about 12 years as well. So everything's kind of happening right now. It's kind of affecting me heavy. Yeah, I'm honored to be a part of the call and talk with y'all and share with y'all. So.
Awesome. All right, Tim, you still there? Tim? Awesome.
I'm still here. So, hello everyone. Hope all is well. My name is Timothy Moore. I do spoken word poetry. I also have a company where I help individuals, entrepreneurs, and startups break through mental barriers that keep them stuck, and by creating a clear, concise, and compelling vision. The company is called Vision Writers USA. I'm an Omaha native, been here pretty much my whole life. I left in 91 to go to Germany and got back in 2000, and I've been here ever since, and I'm just here to, let my light shine and be the best that I can be in the lane that I drive in. So just humbled and honored to be on the panel with all you great men. Woo woo! So we got that energy going, so I know we about to get it.
You are on the Okay. So real quick, we got two people you guys cannot see right now, but everybody can see on Facebook. While this airing, we got again Roger that's in the house. Jay Reed just walked in the house. I don't. We still having audio problems, but I'm gonna let them talk real quick. If you guys don't mind, just let them talk real quick. So go ahead, Roger. Introduce yourself real quick.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Roger. Yeah, I've lived in Omaha most of my life. I was actually born in West Covina, California, but I lived here majority of it. Yeah, so what I like to do is I just like to, you know, help out my community. So I do these little blog videos. So just anything to help out and really heavily involved in the church. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got right now.
All right, and Jay Reed, if you don't mind, real quick.
What's up, y'all? Just kind of say hi. Good to see you guys.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Everybody tell them a little bit about themselves.
So me, I'm a musician, photographer. I help out around the community where I can. I do a little music here and there, a couple videos. Just putting in a helping hand where I can. Whether it's radio stations, broadcasting, whatever it is, I try to help and be a part of. And then along with doing my own projects and things along the way as well.
Nice. All right, GT, continue.
Marcey, we lost Marcey, trying to get him back, but I was really hoping that he'd be able to share some of the stuff that he's involved in. Obviously, knowing, unless you've been under a rock, you know what's going on. We got curfews in order in Omaha and around the country in result to the riots that are breaking out of the protests. People are outraged about the stuff that's going on, and Marcey and Culture House, they're involved in organizing. I shared this with some of the guys earlier today. They're looking for volunteers. They're looking for supplies to get dropped off. They're looking for water, Gatorade, towels, masks, goggles, paint, food that they're giving to protesters. Things thankfully have not been as violent here in Omaha as they were over the weekend, last couple of nights. But people are still out, and there's a message that we want to get across. I haven't been involved in the protesting, but I definitely support, bringing about a change. And this is the first time for me personally that I actually, I want to be a part of things, and I never really knew before how I could be a part. Which is why I'm glad that we have so many minds in on this conversation. We can talk about what we see, what our experiences are, and really how we can be a part of influencing real lasting change.
Yeah, so I want to start with whoever want to go ahead and talk about whatever it is you want to talk about, rather it be your feelings, what's happening, and then we can start chiming in from there on this conversation. And I keep an eye on the time here. If we play music, we play music. If we don't, we don't. It's all right. So
I actually gotta go.
Yeah.
But I appreciate everybody being here. I'll probably keep my camera on, but I'm not gonna be a part of this conversation. I go pick up my kids.
Yeah.
And,
So you can listen.
What's that?
I said you'll be listening.
Yeah, I'll be listening.
All right. So anybody out there want to start? Crum, do you want to start? I really asked you because how much I seen you on social media. So I really wanted somebody that really wanted to get on and talk and can really spark up this conversation.
Yeah, where do we want to start?
Wherever you want to start.
How about can we start with the meeting they had yesterday, conference? Anybody want to chime in on their feelings towards that?
Anybody want to talk about the conference that was had yesterday in the
Yo, I listen, man. There's never been anybody get up and decide to do a play-by-play for anytime we've committed anything. If it was on camera, y'all never decided to get on there and try to do a play-by-play.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to recap what happened. Also, there was I don't know, man. It was just too much. The convenient times where the audio cut out. Y'all didn't even use the video that actually went viral that people could see that went step by step. Like it was just so much of that. I just feel like, man, when you see a crime being committed or if anything happens, for this to happen and you decide to be like, to have all these missing things happen and be like, all right, we're not even going to charge him.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't even going to go to court. This isn't even, like the fact that none of that is even there. It just says a lot about how white people get the benefit of the doubt so much when it comes to, especially things like these that we don't get to have. Right. But you got the audio. There's stuff in the beginning that wasn't there. The fact that this building that he was trying to protect wasn't even a building he owned. The fact that he didn't own the video. He didn't own the building. He was he leased the building. The building and that they were that he thought was being vandalized or whatever he wasn't even an owner of it. Right. So that, and then you got an expired. To not even take this to court is ridiculous to me.
Yeah. Real quick before the next person talk, I just want for anybody who's listening that don't know what we're talking about, those who are listening on the radio or from another country, because I know we have people that listen from other countries. There was a young man that was killed here in Omaha Saturday night, 22 years old. His name, and I do not want to murder his name, so can somebody say his name for me? James
Skurlock.
Yeah.
Oh, Skurlock. Oh.
Thank you. So he was murdered Saturday by a store owner. So this is what we're talking about. The store owner was arrested that night and released the following morning, and they decided that they were not going to press charges for the murder of this young man. I don't know who was going to say something next. Go ahead. I just wanted everybody to know what we were talking about.
He wasn't arrested. He was detained.
He was detained.
Second off, the laws. See, when you know the terminology when it comes to the law, I know a lot about the law. I served time, and I was a legal aid for years. I've studied. I was legal aid. I sued the state 6 times, won 4. Handwritten petitions, challenging the courts and due process. But anyway, Nebraska doesn't have a standing ground law, nor does it have self-protection law. And everything that he did was wrong as a citizen. He can't make a citizen's arrest. He can't brandish a gun and fire off in the city limits. Those are all criminal acts that he was never charged for, besides the murder. Besides him murdering somebody. Regardless of anything else, if you come outside and you brandish a gun and you fire off a warning, that's one crime. You know what I'm saying? And that carries I think I'm not sure the statutes might be different now, but anywhere from 1 year to 5 years or something like that. Now you got stand your ground. You don't have to stand your ground. You don't have. I was locked up with guys that were in prison that had people come in their homes and they died and shot and defended them, but they had to serve their time because Nebraska doesn't have any stand your ground laws or self-protection laws.
Right.
So the guy, for him not to get any charges, says a lot. Don Klein, he made a powerful statement, powerful move when he did that. He said that the young brother's life wasn't worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, and the other thing about it that bothered me, not only did he not get charged, they didn't even take the time to charge. And he had the opportunity that none of us would ever have. He had the opportunity to be his own witness. The killer got the chance to be his own witness. There was a young lady who, and this is a source I heard from, that there was a young lady that was a witness, was willing to come forward and be a witness, and they kept telling her, go stand on the other side of the street, go stand over there. They didn't want to hear from her, and so they came over there, and they got her name and her number and information, but not once did they contact her for any of the information. You know what I mean? So my problem for this, and like you said, he didn't get charged for anything, but they knew what they was doing. That's why they rushed it along.
So I had nothing to do with this decision. She was like, this decision was the county attorney's decision and his decision alone. I don't have nothing to do with it. Like, she just was like, threw him under the bus. Like, yo, nobody else has anything to do with this. And like the fact that all of this was on the shoulders of one person, just shows how easily this can be corrupted. It
was all left up to one dude. That's the problem.
Yeah, she said it was on the county attorney and him alone to decide to charge him. This is why there's a petition. That's why there's a petition out right now, which I encourage everybody to sign to get this case put before a grand jury.
Right. Yeah,
what's the information on getting that point? Where can we go with the point?
I'm sorry about that. Ray South. If you haven't signed that, go ahead and sign it. Go ahead and say what you were saying again, Ray.
I was wanting to get the info on like where do we go to sign that petition at?
I can share that on the Humble Kingz page. If you want to sign that petition, because I saw it on Facebook myself and signed it, so I can share that on the page for everybody who's wondering where that's at. You can just go on the Humble Kingz page, Facebook page, and click on that link and sign it.
Dope. Okay. Carl, what you're saying, like, based on your understanding of the law and your experience with it, like some of the things that he should have gotten charged with, that I'm probably sure nobody is taking into consideration or maybe overlooking. Is there like some sort of way to bring that to light? Like, is somebody we can put on to like, look, you need to like point this stuff out.
Yeah, you have to call the DA's office. You have to call the DA's office and make that point and get those statutes. You know what I'm saying, and make sure the statutes are before him, and he has to charge him for that. At least those. You know what I'm saying? At least firing a firearm within the city limits. That's the no-no. Nobody can do it. You know what I'm saying, he doesn't have that authority, and there's no stand your ground law, and there's no law for self-protection. I'm saying in Nebraska, there's no way he shouldn't have got charged with at least minimum that those two charges alone. Now he could have just dismissed the murder and said, "Well, I feel like hey, but we have to charge him with this." Because if he would have charged, if that was me or you, we would have been charged with multiple charges stacked on top of a murder.
Oh yeah, you'd have been guilty before they even brought the story up.
Yeah, no doubt.
So see, the thing about it is, in Nebraska, they hide the laws, and they know that the public, most of the public, they don't have, that knowledge. So when you go inside in places like that, I studied for years, and that is major right there. That's the thing to bring up, to just get the ball rolling, just to get him in there, get him back in court, get him charged. He has to be charged with those. Just those charges alone will get everything else rolling. And
now,
I couldn't believe it. Go ahead.
So with that being said, like you said, just we go into the DA's office and then saying like this is the stuff that he needs to get charged for. Can like any old citizen do that, or is it like a party of interest, like his family that needs to do that?
Family can.
It's good to have a team, but you can just call the DA. You can call him and leave a message and tell him, listen, he was not charged, so he has a right to fire a firearm in the city limits of Omaha. That's one charge. It's a third degree felony or somewhere misdemeanor or whatever, but it's still enough to get him a charge. You know what I'm saying? And then for him to kill somebody, the only thing that he could get is manslaughter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a charge. But for him to use a firearm, there is no stand your ground or stand your ground law in Nebraska that will make that what he did legal. Everything he did was chargeable. He could have got charged with at least 3, with excluding the murder. So
Now I heard that he was talking about like that his life was in danger, so he was like using self defense. And I've also heard, now I don't know whether this is true or not because I haven't studied it like you, but I've heard say that there is some law in existence that like you can act like in such a way if you feel like your life is threatened, whether in reality it's threatened or not, like you're justifiable because you felt like your life was in danger.
That's in the stand your ground
not here.
state. We don't have that law in the state. It's
That's
not a
what I'm
stand your
saying.
ground state.
So then I heard he was preaching that that whole time.
The thing about it is, you don't even have the privilege or the right to, if somebody breaks in your home, and you kill them.
Right.
You don't even have that.
So in this,
You would charge with Don Klein and with us, he would charge us because it's at his discretion to do so.
yeah. So in this state, it's the same like California. We don't have those laws. So your defense law is basically you have to defend yourself the same way the person who's attacking you defending yourself. So if that person coming at you bare knuckles, you need to be bare knuckles. They got a bat, then you can have a bat. They have a gun, you can have a gun. They have a knife, you can have a knife. You cannot have a knife and they be without a weapon. Or it can become murder or attempted murder or whatever. You know, not always are you going to get prosecuted for that. You know, if somebody's breaking in your house, but if that person has a good lawyer, oh, you will.
Yeah. The other thing is, though, it all depends on what race is going against who in that matter, too. So say if I'm a black man and somebody running my house and he just gonna be a white man, though he broke into my house and we both got a knife, if he died, I'm going to jail. Or getting hit with something. And that's the part that they don't tell you that part. Like they say that it's an equal, if he got a gun, he got a gun, you know, you had your right. The problem is they don't tell you that if he had a gun and you black and got a gun, you know, it don't swing, the pendulum don't swing your way. That's the part they don't tell you about. Now, the other thing about that guy, the killer, he had a license, right? So when you take the gun class, one of the things they teach you...
It was expired.
Yeah, but either regardless, he went to, I mean, no matter what, he went to the classes to get him.
Mm-hmm.
So when they teach you, the one thing they teach you, they tell you not to shoot above here, no matter what, it's attempted murder. He shot the young man in his neck.
Right, yeah, exactly. That was a shot to kill, bro.
Yeah.
He wanted that man not to get back up.
That was not a shot in self defense. Like, you know, and that you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah. Because if I just want to put a warning shot into you, I'm gonna put you in your leg or foot or something, so I know you understand that I have a gun and I'm you know, I can use it. I'm not shooting you anywhere above the waist unless I'm planning on making sure you can't come back for me.
That's exactly what a martial arts instructor told me. He's a retired cop, and he actually had somebody break into his house, and he said that's exactly what he did too. He did warning shots, and then he did a shot in the leg. The guy kept coming. He did a shot in the other leg, and he was able to subdue the guy. He still ended up getting them charges though, but that's just the way he proceeded. Like this is the way you're supposed to handle it. Like that's a real warning shot. Like
right, but even what you saying, like that stuff happened in their house.
Right.
Like this happened in the middle of the damn street. You know what I mean? Like like this happened in the middle of the street. Like this is everything about this is wrong. Everything.
You don't own a piece of nothing.
Yeah.
You ran out there. You wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. You wouldn't supposed to have your gun in the first place. You down there protecting buildings that don't even belong to you. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem. Not only that, his dad was the one starting the problems. And then he got to come save his dad. And now this is what happened after him saving his dad. You know what I mean? Now I got to shoot people. You know, he knew what he was doing. It was a setup from the jump.
But he made a post prior to that too, didn't he? Like some hours prior to that he was gonna.
Prior and after.
Like that if I would have made a post like that, I'm getting first degree murder because
it's premeditated.
That was a that showed it was premeditated. Like you went down there, he said basically responded to the protest. He said something about we got Black Lives Matter protests. He said, what are we gonna do about it? I'm gonna be doing a military. He said.
Ooh, losing them.
We losing you.
Whatever area you in.
Something about doing 48-hour.
Okay, we're losing them. I'm gonna try to find it so I can say it because we're losing Crum there.
All I like to say is on that alone, that shows that the intent was to go be an agitator, and if you bring up Black Lives Matter, that puts it in a place where okay, this is the racial thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Oh, Black Lives Matter gonna be down there. I'm going down there, and I'm gearing up for that. And then he ended up shooting a black man, a young black man, and killed him.
Yeah, that definitely qualifies premeditated to me.
Well, what's funny is, had it been one of us, we wouldn't have to make a post. All right, we don't have to make a Twitter, we don't have to make a Facebook post, nothing. The fact that we did it, we wouldn't have had nothing else to talk about. He even gave his own evidence that this is almost what I'm on when I get down here. You know what I mean? So that's the part that I have a problem with. You know what I came down here to do. He even made a post after the fact while he was supposed to be detained. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, he's detained, but why at 4 a.m. he on Facebook? He was detained and let me rephrase it. He was detained and never was released, supposedly.
So I do want to make a comment that I do know that there's plenty of pictures and posts from this store owner, and I'm sure it's what has to do with how he got off so easily. He has pictures with the president. He has pictures with the president's son. There's a post of him talking about every time I email this person, he emails me back, and there's a picture of him standing next to Donald Trump's son while it says that. So,
you saying Jake Gardner?
Yep.
Yeah. He's good friends with him.
So he's good friends with Donald Trump's son, and there's plenty of pictures with him with Donald Trump. So not just the fact that he's white, just the fact that he have people in high power.
Yeah. And you notice, I don't know if y'all paid attention to the story from the beginning till today. His name was never released from the jump when it came to that. It was never even a suspect. They said there's no suspect being pursued right now, but there is a person in connection with the murder that's with us right now. That's the only thing they said. They never said nobody was a suspect or anything. Never gave a name, nothing.
From what I understand, people know that guy, know him pretty well in his character.
Mm-hmm.
Like they already know, like he's a well-known hothead, and don't like people of color anyhow. Like that's his reputation.
I don't know if anybody's seen the video yet, but there's a video out also about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before the killing. Someone walking by the building, and it's like, oh, there go the hive. They already tore that up, but it don't matter. He racist anyway. Like this is an hour or two before all that happened. So his building was already attacked hours before that.
Mm.
So he was just mad looking for a reason.
He was just mad looking for a reason. The building was already hit. These people ain't coming for your building, so you already late. On top of that, 9, 10, if it's not your building and somebody got you leasing out, they probably got insurance. So
why are you crying, bro? Like, why are you so mad? Like, you gonna get that joint covered. You business owner, like, unless you that dumb, you're not gonna have no insurance on your stuff.
Yeah, but
hey, yo,
T-Bo.
Hey, you only got me for like a few seconds, because if y'all can see, I got these twins in the back. Because the second they start acting up, I'm off.
I'm about to say they quiet.
Okay.
They're quiet now. They're quiet now. Give it a second, man.
Okay, so we're talking about the young man who lost his life on Saturday,
James.
and how the store owner got off. He's not being charged. That's what this discussion that we're having right now.
So yeah, so we're discussing disgusting stuff because
Yeah.
it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely mind-boggling that somebody like that can get off and not get charged. I mean, you know, self-defense is one thing, but like this dude has a history of who he is. Like it's known. There's no secret. You know, I'm just honestly like I'm at a loss for words. Like the fact that you wouldn't even send a man like send this case to trial. At least send it to trial and let him be proven that he doesn't need to be charged. At least do that much, you know. And the fact that they don't even want to do that much, that's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. I'm really good about like managing my anger, but I'm trying to tell you like I'm pissed. Like I'm pissed. You know what I mean? Like I'm so pissed, and I'm hurt that the city wouldn't care enough to at least have a trial at a minimum. At a minimum, you know, it's mind blowing. I'm sorry. That's
the ball is in Don Klein's. It's in his court right now. So the biggest thing is, I mean, me and a partner of mine, I work with Myron Pierce, you know what I'm saying, and you know, Mission, and we got some things dealing with, you know, chaplains and, you know, other stuff coming, police and assisting with the community, and, you know, that type of stuff soon. But what I'm saying is, Don Klein, we as citizens, we just like we should be able to put our foot on his neck because it was on him. It wasn't on. I'm sorry, it wasn't on Jake. I mean, he just got away with what he did. He's supposed to be held accountable. Don Klein is the one that the citizens supposed to go get at. You're supposed to go knock on his door. You're supposed to protest at his place. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's resting easy with his decision, and his decision is biased.
And they're protecting him.
They probably won't let folks come within a couple feet of his house, Brad. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, they got security out there.
It could be across the street from his house. It could be on the corner. It could be right outside. You know, when you turn into the gated community. It doesn't make a difference. It still puts pressure on him. He don't want nobody to know. You know what I'm saying, his neighbors to feel unrest. You know what I'm saying? If people was just putting their foot up, man, I promise you. I mean, he needs to be held accountable, man, because he has to explain that better than what he explained. The video says one thing, it doesn't make a difference. I'm talking about the video states that this man got away with 3 crimes. 4 actually, but 3 for sure. Firing with a firearm within the city limits of Omaha. Second, there's no stand your ground. There's no self-defense. So he's in violation with those alone. He's supposed to be arrested on those alone.
And to keep it real, like if that was somebody like me, and this is no cap on this, if that was somebody like me, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Right.
It wouldn't. I mean, you know, and I'm not. I know that seems like such a cliche thing to say, but like, no, that's the truth. Like, if it was somebody like me or somebody who looked like me, like this wouldn't even be an issue. It wouldn't be no question. Like, yeah, they're gonna run due process then. Yeah. So listen, I'm about to mute this because I feel like they're getting ready to
Don't
get turned
be mute
up.
my nieces. Don't do them like that, man. They try to join the convo.
For those of us that have grown up in Nebraska, we understand 100% this environment and this climate. We know what it is, and I think with the formation of this state, it wasn't a slave state, but it was like. I think according to U.S. history, if I remember it correctly, it was more like a transitional state.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the South wanted it, but the Union wanted it, and they couldn't. It never came to like an agreement of like who's going to take it. So it was just like neutral territory. So both people came through. It was like a melting pot. So you have folks that came up through the South, and you have folks that came down from the north to set up shop and live in living conditions and things like that. So you had a whole bunch of folks that came up from the South, setting up their residence in the state of Nebraska. And if anybody has ever done any type of research on the stuff that's gone down in this state, the city by itself, though, it's like Nebraska is almost just as racist as any other southern state. I kid you not.
Oh yeah.
Right. Promise you.
We just handled it different. That's all.
We even Omaha was even the state capital at one point. It was the state capital, but they changed it to Lincoln because there was too much crap going on here. Like it was just too much mess happening in Omaha for it to remain the state's capital. He had that where Central High School is. That was the courthouse, and a dude got hung out there.
Right.
William Brown. Yeah, I did a story on him. Yeah, they yeah, and you know, the onlookers was the police, was the officers of the courts. There were sheriffs. There were state patrol and National Guard. You know, all that. You know, they allowed it. They allowed it to happen. So, and then Nebraska, man, to tell you the truth, the western part of Nebraska, it's a rest haven for white supremacist groups. You know what I'm saying? Organizations.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's major up here, major. Do a Google search on it, and you'll find out. But for years, the Grand Wizard was up here. They got different chapters up here. It's major, and they just been low key. You know what I'm saying? But they're in government. They're in city officials and all. It's just crazy, man. How most don't know. So that's not speculation. Those are you fact check that.
So here's my question. So how do we go forward with making a change?
Right.
I mean, and so like we can't reach every state all at once, but we can start with in the city we in. Then of course reach over to Lincoln and all that stuff. But how do we get the ball rolling on that?
Okay, and real quick before we finish that, this will be the last thing we talk about on this half of the show, and then we'll start a new show for the following week for those who are listening on the radio. So anybody who want to answer that, go ahead.
I think I may have something for that.
Mm-hmm.
Since Carl had spoken on his understanding of the law, I suppose that there be some sort of like script, because you said call the DA and make a complaint. I think there should be a script written out with said points that we've discussed today about why this psychologically this man is racist and a bigot. He had premeditated, write all this stuff out, points. If we need screenshots on that document, then make screenshots on that document and write out the points in the state law of all the accounts that he should be convicted for, and write that joint out. And hey, anybody that wants to file or make a complaint to the DA's office to put him back on trial or to send him to trial, then here's the script. You can download it. Call the DA's office and let's get this joint going. I would even say, like, if anybody has connections to his family, get his family in on that. Like, look, hey, y'all need to take a look at this. This is what you need to be pushing, so that James can get the justice that he's supposed to have and put that guy on trial. Like, I think anybody, like, we can yell and holler all day long, and we can do all kinds of stuff. But I think they need to be at the center of that joint. Like we need to get his family in on that.
You know, I feel like while we're doing this protesting, we also need somebody to be the leader, because right now we're all over the place. I feel like we don't have no direction. We're just doing things in all these different areas, hoping for whatever.
Ryan's ain't gonna do nothing no more, man. They're already showing that.
Right.
All that's gonna happen is somebody else is gonna get popped. They mean, if you haven't seen already on social media, stuff is happening where folks are unprovoked getting hit with clubs, getting getting sprayed, just walking around. These are unprovoked police assaults, really military and police assaults. Like people getting sprayed, people getting hit, folks getting run over, just being out there.
Yeah.
Like so, being out there on street corners is not going to do it. We need to go a different route. For real.
Yeah. You got to
part of the protest and ain't seen none of that yet.
Yeah, it's been there. You just been in the right spot. All right, so real quick, guys, do not go nowhere. We're gonna end this show real quick. I want to give the platform to Roger real quick so he can talk about what he got going on with this streaming, and then we're gonna end the show and then immediately start a new one because we only can send an hour to each radio station. All right, so go ahead, Roger.
Okay, so I got a live stream going on June 12th. It's going to start at 6 p.m. I'm going to have One Life, T. Barlow, JC, myself, and Jay Roach. And we're just going to just try to do something positive for the community since we can't really gather right now. We're doing a concert on live stream, and that's going to be on Facebook as well as Twitch. Post all the information on our Humble Kings page on Facebook.
The beginning of the end of the go. Being that new flow. Come on. There's more than this. No question. No question. The beginning of the end of the yo man, they knew in Christ, and I know that they do dislike how he's holy yet truly. I will live life loud. I will live life loud. Live loud. Live loud. I will live life loud. I will live life
Humble Kings Radio
Show. So that's our show for today. Thank everybody for joining us. For every radio station that's listening. Everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, Smashcast. Go on to our webpage on our Humble Kings Facebook page. I did just post up that petition right now if you do want to sign that, so you can go in there and do that. If you're watching live on Facebook or Twitter or anything, just stay with us because we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going in it. We just have to take a quick break. And I want to say good night and to everybody, saying goodbye for GT because he's not here, saying goodbye for T. Barlow because he's not here. So,
I'm right here.
All right. So grace and peace to everybody. Good night. Make sure to join us next week so you can continue to hear this great conversation that we have with our local Omaha artists that we have. All right.
Be blessed.
There it is.
So I'm gonna start the show again, like I did the last time. Just give me a minute. There'll be a song that's being played and everything. All right.
Hey Carl, man, get with me, man. Let's get this thing going. Let's
take my number down. Take my number real quick, bro.
Man, don't say it over the thing.
So I want everybody to call me. My number is 913.
I'm used to haters, but I don't worry about that.
All right, if everybody mute themselves for a minute, let me go ahead and start this new one here.
Just run it back to the top because I'm gonna do something different.
I got a story. It's not, well,
It's a story. It's a love story. It's not your typical type of love story, though. Well, just listen. Once upon a time, but not long ago, before the civil rights movement and the new Jim Crow, sit back, I'll introduce you to a wonderful place in every state called My Hood, USA. Life wasn't perfect, but they did what they could. And people took pride in their neighborhood. They had doctors and lawyers, artists, barbers and teachers, entrepreneurs, politicians and preachers, stable universities, sports leagues and banks. You invest and trade here, cause in other places you can't. Black owned, from the cradle to the coffin. Before the NBA, we had a history of ballin'. Durham, Greenwood, Atlanta, Sweet, Auburn, Quakertown, and Denton, Third Ward, Houston. But here's a caution. Why they wanted their turn to just earn and make a living. Some just wanted them to burn, baby, burn. It was vicious. If the city wasn't consumed by unexplained flames, it would eventually change due to eminent domain. How can you own a home if you can't get a loan? And the powers that be just redline your zone. The government wants your value to drop, so then the private investors come through and buy up your spot. You can't win fighting the government and KKK. Plus integration hit my hood in a curious way. Blacks moved to the burbs, trying to escape the system, but they took stability and wealth right along with them. The ownership and financial stimulation, it makes it much easier for gentrification. We ain't building jobs to build schools to build wisdom, but instead we build debt, so they build more prisons. With few taxpayers, they make money off policing. Fines and tickets, I'm getting searched for no reason. Police are underpaid, but they are making a killing. And compound that with the crack epidemic. So now we got dope fiends shooting dope who don't know the meaning of Harvard nor hope. Howard or Prairie View, even at Tuskegee. Morehouse next to the poorhouse, baby, we leaving for the American dream. It's in the burbs now. Opportunities in my hood get turned down. Community service groups, they turn into gangs. They hammers with bad aim, they banging on everything. So now my friend on the next street becomes my enemy. No job to distract us, cause we ain't got an industry. All we got is liquor stores next to a Burger King, next to a pawn shop, next to a Dairy Queen, next to the China shop, next to the gas station, next to the 5 churches, next to the building that's vacant. Most of the businesses owned by the Asians, so the money never stays in the same location. This is the truth. This ain't hating. If the church can't change it, then who should we place faith in? Some blame welfare, some blame the music, some blame the dealer, some blame the user. Turn on the news, let's figure out who we blaming. Many benefit off my hood from not changing. Exploit my culture, they aiding and abetting. It's the black stock exchange, they buying and they selling. It's generations of self-hate and psychosis. In my hood, it's almost innate to feel hopeless. Predatory lending and banking in my hood. We ain't creating wealth, we just importing goods. But a change gon' come is what I tell the youngsters. This is a love song, I like to call it justice.
I wish words could really tell you how I feel, but words are only really noise until they come to life for you done. I know we try. This is not enough.
One time, hey young world, love is yours, hey young world. This love is yours, young world. Young world. One more, hey young world. This love is yours, hey young world. This love is yours, young world. World is yours, young world. Shed a
I
love.
wish words could really tell you how I feel.
Omaha's #1 Christian hip-hop radio show, The Humble Kingz.
What's going on, world? This is the Humble Kingz radio show. You're listening to DJ Flyness. I'm not going to push my button. I got everything kind of all over the place here. This is a continuation of last week's talk. If you guys were listening last week, this is a continuation of that. I'm not sure if this will be the last one or we have another one after this. It just depends on how long the conversation goes. But we definitely got another show today. I got Roger that in the house today.
Yo, what up?
We also got Jay Reeves up in the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, and then we also got a few people up online with us in Facebook Messenger room is what they call it now. So we're going to get to this song real quick, and then we're going to come back and get right into this topic.
Humble Kingz Radio Show.
When others are crying, will you judge the tears? Or
or join them? Will you weep with those who weep? Or will you argue about why they shouldn't be weeping?
Yes, sir. Listen, if all lives matter to you, then sit down. Cause we know all lives ain't being pinned down. I spoke to God and he told me don't put that pen down. Cause there's so many people that need to get it now. They said Alton had a gun and an open carry. 10 Mil was only 12 but seen as big and scary. John was on the phone talking to his baby. So tell me how they end up in the cemetery. We got a problem with one common denominator. We're seen as pests and the cops think they're exterminators. Yo, I can only think of one thing, so what is it about my skin that makes you hate us? The nation went crazy over a lion killer, and a gorilla drug a kid around like dead meat. When it comes to compassion, our reactions differ. Like it matters if his father was a deadbeat. No, I won't act like I got all of the answers, but there's only one person who can cure this cancer, yo. Seems like every day that they out to get us. Don't throw salt in my wound, please cry with us.
Don't you leave me now.
Don't leave, don't leave.
I need you right here with me, here and now.
I need you, I need you.
We're in this together now.
We're in this together.
We're in this together now.
Yeah.
We're in this together now. We're in this together now.
Okay, light up my phone as I'm walking on the sidewalk. I read two black men are shot by two white cops. Alton far away, boy, I wish it really hit me. But Orlando back in my parents' town, the Twin Cities. A fear struck me that this could happen anywhere. Anytime, any place where there is hate. It makes me think about my brothers and I'm burdened by it. They could be deemed hostile cause of their race. It ain't fair, so I'm on my knees in prayer. God's the answer to this malice and he always will be. Evil has no chance if we all stand together. In the power of the spirit we will stand forever. So let's pray for the ones who are wearing blue. Split second decisions, they need his wisdom too. And for my families on the other side that's been affected, I wanna ease the pain, so let's stand connected. And the glue is Jesus, he will purge the evil. Let's unite in prayer, like a thread and needle. Sew our hearts together so they won't separate. Now let's picket and protest in the secret place. Slay the devil with our words to stop the madness. The master planner of the sniping down in Dallas. Praise the Lord, I be praying for this nation. But God, there's no limitations. Word.
Don't you leave me now. I need you right here with me, here and now. We're in this together 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 now.
Let's test this out. Will we listen? As a majority culture church, will we listen when we hear about experiences that are not our own?
Then you don't have to feel. You can judge their pain, police their pain. It doesn't say that. It says feel it with them. Walk with them. Listen. Be a church that can hug your black brothers and sisters and say you can cry here. I might not get it all, I might not experience it all like you do, but I got a shoulder for you.
Stand up for them boldly, weep with them tenderly, and please don't police their pain.
Hey, yo, what's good, y'all? This your boy K-Drama, and you're checking out the Humble Kingz, Omaha's #1 Christian hip-hop radio show. Hey, yo, what's good, y'all? This your boy K-Drama, and you're checking out the Humble Kingz, Omaha's #1 Christian hip-hop radio show.
Okay, and we are back. Thank you guys for joining us. We got Ray Styles in the house, Jay Reed, Roger that. I'm sorry, I cannot remember everybody's name. Please make sure to introduce yourself, because I don't want to be rude. All right, so the topic that we're gonna jump into right now is the my mind just went blank. George Floyd. Thank you. And we're gonna talk about that and police brutality in general. So whoever wants to start, Jay, I know you had something to say. I hope you didn't forget it.
Oh no, I didn't forget. I just opening the door, giving somebody a chance to get their thoughts together. But that that situation real sad because that could have been anybody, any one of us at any given time. But the one thing I am glad about that they was able to get all those different angles of that video, because not only did we see the one from the one angle, and then the guy standing in front. But then when you finally see the other side, you see the other two officers alongside with the actual officer that committed the crime. And so it just gives you, it sheds a different light on it, because it wasn't like he was on his own holding the guy down. He had two other officers, so that means that guy wasn't going anywhere, wasn't doing anything, on top of being in handcuffs. So, the different angles definitely helps out, and it definitely showed that it wasn't a struggle involved. Even when you see him get put out the car, you don't see no real struggle. It looked like to me a normal human response when somebody grab you, like, hold on, man, you don't want nobody really just grabbing on you.
Right, we're talking about natural reactions.
Yeah.
Natural reactions.
And as a grown man, period, I don't want no other grown man manhandling me, grabbing me. And I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
I know I'm going to switch subject. They come right back for 2 seconds. There's a video of these officers harassing a guy. I want to say this past week.
It is not. I know what you're about to go, but it is not from this past week. It's a year old.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It's 2 weeks ago.
No, it's a year old.
No. This is recent.
The one where the people think, and he's not an FBI agent either.
Hey man, why you got?
I just didn't want you to put out false information out there, bro. I just didn't want.
Talk about it no more.
I did the research. Right?
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, the video's from a year old, and somebody just put down there was an FBI agent, but he's not an FBI agent. They were looking for somebody. There's a video before that. It's a longer video. So they thought he was somebody else. So when they looked at the ID that they were looking at the name was completely different.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't an FBI.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, but I didn't want you to say it. Then
I'm turning my camera on. I didn't want to talk anymore.
Don't feel bad. I retweeted it and everything, and then I started doing research. I was like, oop, and I unretweeted it.
Hey, I'm about to go full steam ahead on that one.
Yeah.
Them dirty cops, how dare they?
Yeah, but I mean, but what I did want to say about the George Floyd thing is a comment that's going around that's very true. Is they murdered him, and we know that, and all we want is justice. We wanted these cops. I say cops with an S. Arrested. We had to wait 3 days for one to get arrested, and the other three are still not arrested. But there's people out there that was doing peaceful protesting that's getting arrested right now, and that's ridiculous.
I just wonder why no one really tried to help him though.
I'm gonna say people did. I saw people walk up, and you saw the cop reach for his mace, and maybe he was gonna reach for a gun. I'm not gonna sit there and say that if I was standing there, I would have did something, because I know who I'm dealing. There's 4 cops there, so if they have their knee on somebody's neck, and you're watching that, and to a point where he wasn't even moving, and you want to do something, but they're not even doing nothing. I mean, what do you think they're going to do to you if they have him down on the ground?
About onlookers
with a knee? Yeah.
Yeah, they scared, bro.
See, well, I don't know.
They scared, like they could be next.
Right.
That is true.
Because they're in. Cops are going, I'm legally doing this. He didn't care. He felt like he was protected by the law, right? He knew he was on camera. He didn't care. So if you do something, you touch that cop, you're going to jail, right? Even if you got him off of them, you are going to jail, right? We have the people in Kentucky that they did the no knock warrant in their house, and they bust in their house. No badge showing, not announcing that they're cops. They're not even in uniform. And, this guy busts out his gun protecting his home. He got shot, and then his wife, I don't know if it was his wife or not, and she got shot and killed, right? And they charged him with attempted murder.
Oh.
Attempted murder. He is charged with attempted murder. They went in his house without a warrant, without announcing that they're cops, no badges, and he is charged with attempted murder. And none of the cops have been charged with murder. None of them.
That's tough.
So what are we going to do?
So Was the warrant even for him?
No, it wasn't even for it.
No.
It was a no knock warrant. So which means they're able to go into this house if they believe it would have to do with drugs. So they already had the suspect in custody, and then the house that they were actually looking for was like, I can't remember if I read it said 10 miles away or was it 10 minutes away, one of the two. So this lady died for no reason.
For no reason. So what made them pick that apartment though? That's the part I don't get.
That's the big question right there.
Do they have their address mixed up, perhaps? There's got to be something. There's got to be some sort of mixed up when he came in there.
It got to have some backstory between him and an officer or something, or they had to have a complaint on somebody, because that don't none of that even add up.
Yeah, this lady was the EMT.
Right. Breonna Taylor.
Yep. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. That's what your team's for.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's heartbreaking. You sleeping, trying to get ready for your next shift. You don't get to wake up for it.
Right. So, I need to back up off the mic a little bit because I know I'm getting excited. When we're talking about police brutality, I'm not from Omaha, but I am from Watts, for most people who do know. So I've dealt with a lot of police brutality and things like that personally. I shared on the show before, it may have been our third episode, of one incident where I literally thought, that was the day that I was going to die. I literally thought, today, this is how I'm going to die, and, this is it. Like, what can I do? For being pulled over, and these cops just immediately, 3 cops in a car, immediately out the car with their guns drawn. Have me walking backwards and have my homeboy walking backwards and, assume a position against the wall. And, one of the guys that's holding the shotgun just telling me, if you move, you're dead. And this cop just asking me questions, but nothing that has to, you got ID? Yeah, I do, but he don't want to see it. Is this your car? Yeah, but he don't want proof that it's my car. He just stopping us and looking over and seeing my friend, crying because hearing the cop going, what are you going to do? In his face. What are you going to do? You're going to do something? I dare you to do something. In his face. And me and my homeboy just looking at each other, having this, conversation without having a conversation. You know what I mean? You're looking at each other and you having this complete conversation, and you know what each other is saying to each other, but you ain't saying nothing. Yeah. So I'm looking at him. He's looking at me like, yo, I'm about to hit this cop. And, and I'm looking back at him like, bro, don't do it. Don't do it. We're going to die. And he's looking like, I got to do it. And I turn back and I look at the cop that's holding the shotgun to my head. And he's standing there and he's looking at them and he's laughing. Just laughing like he thinks it's the most hilarious thing. And I look back at the other cop who's talking to me, and I'm just like, come on, man, like pleading with him. Like, is this what y'all going to do? Like I told you, like we play football, and we were coming from a football game. I was playing semi-pro for Compton. But I used to get pulled over all the time, so I knew to keep my helmet in the back of my car so when the cop pulled me over there, see the football helmet. And I tell him I play for Compton College. I wouldn't say I play football for just a semi-pro. I say I play football for Compton College because you're more likely to get left alone. So I'm looking at him like, bro, I already told you we play for Compton College and you messing with us. You know what I mean? And then, he was just like, oh, just let him go, And it was just ridiculous. And for nothing, just because they wanted to pull us over, just because they can. But that was the case where I was like, I'm going to die tonight. Like, I'm right here on the side. And they're going to say it was gang related, or they're going to say that I provoked it. You know what I mean? That's 100% how I felt. And it's just sad. Did I report it? No. What was the point of reporting it for? Nothing was going to happen. So,
You would have reported it when I harassed you more.
So I can't tell you how many times I was pulled over because I'm throwing up air quotes. My tail light was out or my brake light was out and they weren't out, or just because I had stuff in the back of my car and they were like, oh, we need to see if it was yours. It's just ridiculous stuff, all the time. So yeah, I know, and I know just to keep my mouth shut and just take it until it's done and over with, and go on your happy, merry little ways. I know all cops ain't bad. I'm friends with 2 cops here. I'm friends with another cop in Colombia. I'm friends with a cop in California. So I know all cops ain't bad, but there are a lot of bad cops out there. And I used to tell people that didn't understand. I would tell them, I would say, hey, when I was living in Compton, they were like, man, you're not afraid to live in Compton? And I would tell them this. I would explain to them. I said, if I'm in a neighborhood that I don't belong in, and I see people on one end of the corner, standing there and they wearing all red, and on the other side of the corner, I see a bunch of cops. I say I'm more afraid to walk by them cops than I'm afraid to walk by those people that I don't know that probably gonna start some trouble. And that's still a fact,
bro.
That's still a fact.
That's straight fact, bro.
And people don't understand that, and that's how I explain it to people who don't understand when I'm telling them how we feel about police brutality and cops. Like you're more afraid of the person who's paid to protect you than someone who's not. That's a problem.
Yeah. See now, and when I say this stuff, I'm just speaking truthfully, what I know to be true. And I don't mean to be offensive. And I can tell you straight up, bro. Like I got no hate in my heart. I love everybody, but I can tell you straight up, white folks don't get that.
Yeah, not
not
all white folks.
The thing about it is, and no, yeah, they don't get it.
Yeah,
because see, who are the people like who are the people that are quick to call the cops in the first place?
Right,
white folks. Like they love to call the cops about everything. Like if for small stuff too.
Yeah.
Like for minor stuff.
And I want people to understand, when I say police brutality, I ain't talking about white cops. I'm talking about cops in general.
Cops in general, because
in California we'll tell you if we got pulled over and it was a black cop coming out of that car with a white cop, you knew you were going to get it from that black cop. Because that black cop was showing off for that white cop to show that he wasn't going to show you favoritism. Yeah, and it's true.
I think
it's very true.
Yeah.
It is. It
is true.
I don't know what song. I think it was an NWA song, but he did say black cops showing out for the white cops. It's real true.
That's it, bro. I can tell you what. This is my opinion based on some studies that I have done. As far as the history of this country. Now, on plantations, like slave masters would actually elect dudes from just regular big old dudes off the plantations, the big meanest dudes, usually the ones got beat up on the most, to say, here boy, you can take this whip. Now go keep the rest of them in line, and it was actually according to what I read, it was actually worse getting it from the black slave taskmaster than just getting it from a white one.
Right.
He said it's way worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you another thing is this whole thing about being, like you were saying, being more afraid to cross the street of the group of cops than a group of bloods, bro. Right, there's this whole thing we all hear it about serve and protect. We hear that, but what we're seeing is the complete opposite. And it's like, why is that? Because we're saying we don't see it, and it ain't happening. Ain't nobody serving and protecting. But there are other folks that swear up and down that that's what they're here to do. I submit that the truth of the matter is the police as a general idea was only meant to serve and protect some people and not all people.
These are facts.
Because of what folks don't know, a lot of people don't know. I actually didn't know until some old heads put me on game. Is the whole reason why the police unit was even created in this country was it was just a bunch of dudes that kept the plantation in order. Any slaves that got out of line, they got the whip. Any slaves that ran away, they got feet chopped. They got all kinds of stuff, all kinds of garbage that happened to them. Those were those guys. They kept the rules of the plantation in order. That's what they're originally to uphold and defend. So the very core of the police officers of the police units is rotten. It's rotten to its core. Now, whether you got black cops in there, you got Asian cops, you got Latino cops in there, it don't matter. The very core of this whole thing is corrupt in the first place.
Right. You know, I think about that Asian cop just standing there, and I'm like, you know, you're a person of color. Like, what are you doing? You know, but he don't want to look bad in front of his comrades.
He didn't want to say nothing. That's
You know
exactly
what I
what it was. It's like he didn't want to say anything and
That
get a
could have
bad
been
rep. Because like, what am I gonna say? I'm like, I'm one dude and I'm Asian against all these white boys out here.
Right.
Like they gonna listen to me.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw out some positivity real quick. Shout out to my neighbors. I live in a white neighborhood, and you know everybody here in my neighborhood is white. But my neighbor across the street, I was woken up by a doorbell and everything. When I got up, there was a card in my door. So I grabbed a card and I just threw it up because I thought it was for my daughter. Because sometimes her school drop off stuff. So I looked at it later that night and I realized it was for my neighbors from across the street, and they were just letting us know that they support us, they're with us, and you know we understand, and you know, and that means a lot. They didn't have to do that, you know, but it does mean a lot when people say that they understand. It doesn't make me upset when a person say they don't understand. I think it makes me upset when they try to argue it out, and I won't argue with you. If you understand, you don't understand, you know. But don't. The end of that song, I think on part of that song it says, "Don't police my pain." Don't police my pain.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Don't police my pain. If I'm telling you that this is hurting me, and this is what's going on, and this is how a lot of us feel, most of us feel. Not everybody. Not every black person feel like this. Not every black person have to deal with what we dealt with. So you know, there's some who don't agree, and that's okay.
Yeah. I had to argue with me the other day about it.
But I'm not going to argue with you because I know what I've been through. Yeah. You know, but don't police my pain.
That's like somebody slapping somebody and say, "Oh, that ain't hurt that bad." Like,
yeah. The thing is, like, your experience is your experience, and you can't tell him. Nobody can tell you about what it is that you've gone through.
Right. Because if you've never been through it, I don't expect you to understand. If you say I don't understand and I don't get it, okay, that's okay. But don't tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Don't tell me it's not true.
Don't tell me it don't hurt.
Yeah, because then that's when I'm going to get upset. If you say, man, I don't understand, I don't see it, I've never seen it, I just can't see how you're saying that. That's okay.
Yeah.
You never seen it. That's okay. You know, if you feel that you see all these videos and you feel that they're not racially motivated, you just feel like that's just a person, that's on you.
Yeah.
Don't argue with me when I'm telling you that it's the other way around.
You know, and the thing about like perspective and stuff like that is, even when you don't understand, because some people, from my experience on like just talking to various amounts of people, some folks are like, it's harder for them to grasp certain concepts.
Right.
But just to the fact, just like, okay, you don't get it, but can you understand enough? This much is that this has been my story. This is not your story. This is what happened to me. It may not have happened to you. And then just like leave it there.
Right.
Like if that's all you can understand, then you just need to just leave it right there, and then let's just bygones. That's like me and my grandma. We don't see eye to eye on politics, but we know that like something's got to go down. We can understand at least that much. You may have a point. I may have a point. You don't get me. I don't get you. But understand enough to know like this is me, and this is my take on it. This is how I see it, and this is what I've experienced. And understand that's not yours, so you don't see it that way, because it's crazy. Like the viewpoint that a person will take on just life in general, the life philosophies that a person will develop based on those experiences.
Right.
And then we have to be like, and then there comes a thing like in the scriptures, like, be careful how you hear. I think Jesus said that. I think it was in one of the Gospels. Jesus said, be careful how you hear. Like saying, like, you need to pay close attention to the filter that you are taking everything in. So, like, we all can experience this, but because of the different various amounts of experiences that we've all had, we all internalize it as being that particular way. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. Like, our experiences dictate this is what it is because this is what's happened. So this is just the way the life is.
Right. That's kind of like, so I learned that the other day. Some people assume that because some of us they want to fight differently. They assume that you want to live this life how it is because that's how it is. But I didn't get this, right? So I didn't understand why they felt like that. But that's because there's truly people who want to live their life just how it is. So I made a post the other day, and I worded it. I'm not going to lie, and I'm going to admit my flaws when I mess up. I worded my post wrong. I knew what I was trying to say, but I didn't word it correctly.
Right.
And so everybody looking at me like, oh, this is cool, this is Uncle Tom, and I'm looking at them like, no, dog, that's not what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here in the so like, I don't know how many of y'all actually know much about me, but I'm out there in the front of the protest. Like, I'm literally 2 feet away from the police.
Right.
But I'm the one that's the Uncle Tom, and these same people call me that. I promise you, I have not seen them at one protest yet, right? Right? But I'm not calling them a coon and them for not being there.
Right.
But I'm a coon because I'm saying we're doing this the wrong way.
So I say, I had this conversation with my wife. My wife is Jamaican. So she has never really dealt with racism. She's never seen anything like this. When you go to Jamaica and you see cops standing there, they're waving at you. They're smiling. They're waving at you. Mm-hmm. Everybody's smiling back and waving back at a cop unless you're pulled over and getting a ticket. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now it's really hitting her. The first time it hit her a couple of years ago, like it hit her, and then it hit her again now to where she's afraid for me to go outside. She's afraid for her brother to go outside, who also stays here in the States. But one of the things I was telling her, one of the things she was talking about is she was just like, she has like all this frustration and anger and everything, and she doesn't know what to do with it. And one of the things I was telling her, I was like, this is why you don't see me and you won't see me go out and protest, because police brutality hits very hard for me. It's very personal for me. So all that anger that you feel, I feel just as much, maybe even more. So I know better. And for anybody who's listening, who's watching this right now, you're angry and you're very upset and you have that so much energy, you don't know what to do with it. Do not go out and protest. Don't do it. You cannot do it. You can't be out there with other people who feel the exact same way, because all it takes is one person who can't control that emotion to throw a rock, to say something wrong, to try to kick a window, whatever. And then for you to look at it and go, yeah, let's do it. I bet you that feels good. And then you're doing it. That's how it starts.
Yeah, energy feeds energy.
Yeah, that's how it starts. So I know better. I am safe, but I know better to take my butt out there because I'm full of emotions and I'll be right along with them. I am not a thug anymore.
Speak for yourself.
Unless you bring it out of me. But
I ain't retired yet. I'm part-time.
But I know better, and I was talking about this with my bishop. I was like, yeah, I know better not to be out there. And he looked at me. He was like, Ramon, you cannot go out there.
Yeah.
He was like, you're not going to do any work by going out there and protest. You're not going to do any good. You're not. He was like, that is not your lane. Your lane is what you're doing. You're streaming your radio show. You helping out these churches. That is your lane. He was like, you have more power in that. When these churches ask you to help them stream, or somebody asks you to get this word out and post it all over the world so that they can hear what's going on here, that's what you need to do. Not go out there, because again, your emotions can get the best of you. And if you're in the same boat as me, don't go out there.
Yeah,
you're not any less of a black person because you're not going out there.
Well, you let
True.
social media tell you.
You gotta preach
you
that,
are.
bro. But folks be trying to run quick fast and in a hurry.
yeah. Hey.
Like, look, dog, it ain't even like that, man. I just know what it is, like, because the thing is, like, if we understand anything about like conflict resolution, is that if you already got that angry energy about you,
oh yeah,
and you are admitting like all of the body language and your face, your facial expressions is showing it, and now you got voice inflection, who's gonna hear you?
Exactly.
My mother will always say to me, like, dealing with my brothers, is like, I can't hear you. Your emotions are too loud.
Right. You know.
So cops ain't gonna hear you. Politicians aren't gonna hear you. The mayor's not gonna hear you. Whoever be involved, like, is not gonna hear what you're saying right now. And the only thing that they're gonna do is your negative energy is gonna feed into the negative energy of the police force and the National Guard and the SWAT team and all those folks out there. That's all it's gonna do.
I feel like even if you got road rage, you ain't supposed to be out there.
Right.
Dude. You gotta pull over, brother. Get you a bike. Ain't nobody got time to be dodgy. So, and that's funny you say that, because this lady show just hit me the other day. Hit run. What? And so I just about to find her, right? I put up on her on accident. I was just getting gas across the street because she had tried to dodge me in traffic. I pulled back around the corner to get some gas. I look up, she pulled into the gas station across the street. I'm like, well,
wow.
So I drive over here. I get out the car. She look at me like I did something wrong. She said, I got out of the car, I walked up. She said, can I help you? I'm like, oh, okay. And so from that point, I knew that conversation was a wrap. Like, there was nothing to talk about because I already knew where this was going to go.
Right. We all know that, there's conversations that we need to walk away from or something going to happen. And that's the same thing with protesting.
License plate and move on.
Yeah, and I tried to give her a chance. This is the funniest part. I tried to give her a chance, right? So because I try not to be that person that's like, oh, your demeanor telling me who you are, I'm not going to give you a chance to change, right? So I'm like, all right, look, you hit my car. I don't really want no smoke. I just, can you give me your information? We can exchange, blah, blah, blah. While I'm talking, my profession, I do behavior special. I'm a behavior specialist. So my main thing is to study behaviors and watching for reactions and stuff. So while I'm talking to her, I'm looking at her body language. She's looking like she about to square up. Like she about to grab every piece of my dread in my hair and start, get me. Then I looked a little closer. I see her in her hands. She getting her keys ready. You put how they fight. They put the keys in between their fingers.
Heck no.
I see her ready. I said, oh snap. And so it's like, I'm watching her. Then I looked around. I see 5 people recording. I'm like, yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go because the one wrong move, Jay Reed, the activist, is acting crazy. He activating all right.
I can honestly say I like the fact that there's cameras.
Right now, bro.
I can honestly say I like the fact that there's cameras all over the place right now because it keeps me in check.
Hey, I promise you. I promise, because the my initial
you're gonna be immortal, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
It keeps me in check. It keeps me in check, bro.
The black man that slapped the black queen at the gas station. Like that's all they gonna see. They don't know she just hit my car and called me on my name and looked at me like I was crazy, but the cameras do help you. And that's the problem I have for the police. These cameras aren't keeping them in check because they know the system is going to work in their favor. And so I want to know, how do we fix that? How do we get around that? That part is that's a real big problem if there's nobody to check the police when they doing wrong.
Well, first, this will help a little bit. It's not going to help a lot. If they're going to break it, they're going to break it. But one of the first things that I told my wife a few nights ago was, I was like, babe, you need to learn your rights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need to learn your rights. You guys research your rights, especially in the state that you live in. Know what cops can and can't do. You know, I'm not telling you to challenge them, but you can call them out on it. A cop can't tell you to stop filming. They cannot do that.
They can't tell you to
You
search,
know,
search your car.
You have the right to not answer questions. You might have to give them your name, but you don't have to answer the questions. You don't have to tell them where you're coming from, where you're going. You don't have to do all that. You know, the more you answer, the more questions they're gonna ask you. Know your rights. Know what they can and can't do. Ask them, are you being detained or being arrested? If you're not said, then can I go?
See, my fear is about not giving certain information. I feel like it makes it worse on you for certain officers.
Right. I always give my name. That's, you know, and be aware. In the case, I've always known my wife. My dad has always taught me that. So, like in the case that I talked about with the cops that put us over, I didn't call out none of those rights. I wanted this to be done and over with. They were looking for trouble. You know, it's no point in going there. Right. If there's no point in going there, don't go there. Just do what you need to do so it can end as quick as possible.
Just stay in compliance. If you get pulled over by the police, you gotta stay in compliance. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, regardless of your ego, regardless of how you feel, I mean, you know, if you want to survive another day, that's why I told my son, I'm like, man, you just gotta, you know, you gotta live to see another day by being in compliance. That doesn't make you less of a man.
Right.
These are facts.
Yeah, but know your rights.
Carl, I like that hat, man.
Yes, sir. Whatever.
I do not like that hat.
I love that hat, bro.
What is that? What's the hat?
KC.
It's a Kansas City Chief.
Black and white.
Man, man, them guys.
But yeah, when you get pulled over, you really got to just do just enough. Yes, sir. No,
all
sir.
Right. So Jarron, Jarron Taylor, just came in the building here. So we're talking about police injustice here, police brutality, and we're talking about knowing your rights.
The question was, what's to be done about cops and their accountability, even when they have body cams and cameras around, and they still don't seem to be put in check. What should be done about that? What can be done about that?
My opinion, I was raised in a household where discipline was on a regular.
Right.
If you did something wrong, you were chastised for what you done wrong. So if my dad said don't go out across the street, and I decided to put my toe on the street just to test it, if my dad finds out, there's consequences. I may not be able to go back outside for a little while because it's not that I stepped on the street; is I disobeyed an order. And so I believe accountability on the part of discipline for cops who do that. You'll be more mindful of what you're doing when you see somebody around. Like when I was in the military, man, they didn't play that. Like I missed a P test on accident. They had the JAG in the office the next day ready to arrest me. So my thing is, if accountability has to be at a higher level for our leaders and for the people who are governing over us, because if they can get away with murder, if they can get away with beating people, then what is going to stop the next person from doing it if they know the other person got off?
Yeah.
So it's a higher up issue.
Yeah, it's a higher up. So I believe accountability has to be tighter at the higher the level, because if it's loose up top, then of course you're going to get an uprising like you have now, because they're saying, why is it tight on us? But when it comes to you all in authority, you guys get away with stuff that we can't get away with.
It kind of reminded me of when we was kids. Some people had parents that can cuss, but we couldn't cuss. Do as I say, not what I do.
Don't let you do it.
Mama, you just cussed me out. At all. I'm gonna whoop your A. Like, and then you go to school and tell somebody I'm gonna beat your A. You just got yours beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what that remind me of. So it sounds like to me, in order to get some of this in order, we have to vote certain people in that's gonna uphold their how do I put their under, you know what I'm trying to say, the people that's under them more accountable.
Yeah.
Because it's like corporate America. Perfect example, my job, there's a lot of people way above us. But then you got a manager, you got a store manager, you got all these people. So when that district manager get a phone call, you know that all the store managers get a phone call. If they get a call, now all of us that's department heads, we get a phone call. You know who get called next? all the people that got under us, and everybody falling on each other's neck because we hold each other accountable. And so I think I feel like it's more of we have to vote in certain people. Now when it comes to the head office, I got so many different emotions on when it comes to voting for that. But when it comes to our governor, our judges, our mayors, our all those people there, I feel like that's more of what we have control over.
Yeah.
And
I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. I said it. I mentioned it a little bit earlier about the fact that the whole point of the police department created in the United States was to protect and defend only one group of people. Like, because they were the original like taskmasters. They chased after the slaves. They brought them back. They kept them in line. They beat them. They whipped them. That was the core nature of why they existed. Yep. So if that's the root of why they exist, then it don't matter. It don't matter how many good apples you put in there. Everything is gonna get rotten. So and another thing is somebody put me on game about because I didn't understand why is everybody getting off? Why is nobody getting accountable? Why is there so many slaps on the wrist, right? And I had at the time I was working with some guys on a construction site, and there was this notorious union that always was stirring up trouble, and everybody would go to the management and say, "You need to deal with your guys," and they would say, "All right, you can't be here no more," and those guys would be gone. But then the next thing you know, they would have gotten on somewhere else because of the union.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
And they said, "Bro, that's the way the police department works.
Right.
It's a union, so you can't tell the union nothing. There is no real accountability with the union. They look after their own. See, and after the emancipation, that's what went on. That's what happened. Is folks in the southern states started to form unions to look after themselves because you had a slew of black dudes that need work now. Mm-hmm. So they're like, in order to keep jobs for ourselves, this is what we about to do. And that's what happened to the police department. It became a union.
Yeah.
So the unions got to get tossed and thrown away. I think law enforcement should be should stay, but not in this form anymore. I think in some way, shape, or form, it's gonna have to go.
Yeah.
It cannot be a union anymore because it's got to be checks and balances.
I feel you on that part. The only problem with taking away the union. The only part with taking away the union is when you get an officer. So say if I became an officer today, I come in being an officer for the right reasons. I come in trying to do things the right way, try to be a truly live into that badge. So now I'm living to this badge, but I got this superior that's giving me a hard time. And so that's where the union come in to protect that person, protect that person that's trying to come up in ranks, but he can't because he's been held back because of this supervisor. You know what I mean? So I would, if they could get rid of the union, that'd be dope. The only problem is, how do you protect those officers? Because then you do have a couple black officers that want to get in, but they can't get nowhere because they have this white superior, or even another black one that's getting forced to make people stay in a certain level.
So that's to me that's for the whole reason why the system's got to go in the first place, because those that do want to make good can't make good within that system.
Yeah.
So the whole system got to get done away with, and something else needs to replace it.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah, that systemic racism. That's where it boils down to. Like, this is something that's been going on for years. It's something that it's like this. And I'll give you an example. My grandmother was a indentured servant, and so she worked for my great grandfather, who basically never told them they were free. They didn't have the internet back then. They didn't have all that stuff that was going on.
Wow.
So she was basically working for this man in rural Alabama. So it came out that he impregnated her, and then other things came in that she was free, and so he kicked her out. She ran and realized, oh my goodness, I didn't know I was free the whole time. And so you have that stuff that goes on where people can change the laws, can do all that stuff around it, or write it all in, but they don't necessarily live
Change the
by it.
people.
You know what I'm saying? Don't change the people. You know what I'm saying? So basically, when you think about that, man, it's like you need to change the whole system. You need to put people in there who can keep everybody accountable, or this is just going to be a constant cycle.
See, and see, and I agree with that. You can change all the rules and stuff like that, but it don't necessarily change the heart of the people.
Exactly.
But the thing is, but if you do enact a particular system that says this type of mindset or this type of mentality is what is going to thrive here, then that automatically X's out the bad apples. They got to find somewhere else.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, and that's the whole thing about policies. Like that's exactly what policies do. Like this is what you can do. This is what you cannot do. And because we're the ones that are writing the policies, I mean, nobody can tell us anything. We're writing them stuff. So you either get with it or you find somewhere else to go.
Right.
And that's what needs to be done with this.
Right. Agreed. So we got about 10 minutes left, unless we're going to do another show. That's up to you guys. We go show number 2. I do not have a problem with the show.
Listen, go ahead. Somebody.
No, you get it, man. Go ahead, bro.
There was this idea I had that I've been sitting on for a long time, and I'm just itching to find the right avenue to enact it. But I think within this new system, well, first and foremost, I believe that nobody should just be able. I don't think you should just be able to apply to be a police officer. I think that's ridiculous. Like, why I can't just walk on, just walk on and say, hey, I want to apply to be an electrician. Like, you need training for that joint.
Right.
So, my truest belief is that those jobs should be reserved for military personnel. Because
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And that's going to take care of a whole nother issue of dudes that get done with their tours and got nowhere to go. So,
I don't know. Because then you got people like me who want to be a police officer, but
so go join the military first.
Go join the military.
But if I don't want to be military,
because there are some jobs like there are some security jobs that ask you, like, do you have any kind of military or police experience?
Yeah.
And if you don't got it, they don't want you in. Like, they want to know, can you handle stuff?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And I think. And I think in that same regard, to be a police officer, the prerequisite is you served in the military. Even as simple as the National Guard, like, it can be as simple as that. But if you put in your time, you should be able to get in.
Well, I did do 4 years of JROTC.
Because you got these folks that coming in here and trying to apply to be a police officer that just want to put people in check.
Right.
Because they're picked on in high school.
They need that authority.
Picked on in high school. All kinds of stuff. Like, there needs to be a psyche test, or for psychological evaluations.
Yeah.
Because just because you came from the military doesn't mean you got good intentions either. You got some dudes that want to get into the military to blow up Arabs. So that's
right.
That's a whole nother joint. Like, no, like,
that's a whole nother show.
Experience. I've heard that story.
It is a process, though.
So there needs to be psychological evaluations, like, why do you want to be here?
Yeah.
And then the last thing is it needs to be like an internship. Being a police officer, you get no badge, you get no gun, you get no weapons of any kind, but you go and you serve in the department. You work a particular job, just like the military. You got job assignments, and then the last thing is, just like you run for mayor, you go around the community. You go on a ride-along in the community.
Yeah.
And you say, hi, I'm running for such and such county police officer, and I would like to know what is it that y'all need?
Right. And the
I
picture
don't
be a
think
deputy
there
and then
should
you
be a
go to a
person-
sheriff, like the old school days.
There should be no person that becomes a police officer that the community is not okay with.
Well, I don't know about living in the community that you serve because everybody expects you. Well, certain areas expect you to let them off the hook. So
But you still do your job though. You still do your job.
You still do your job, but it
And
makes
you know
your
the
job
area.
that much harder. I will say that.
But if everybody is speaking, if everybody's speaking and saying like, I don't know about this, I don't know about this cat right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like just like a regular politician is running for mayor from some sort of office. We vote for him. We like him. We vote for him. We don't vote for him if we don't like him.
I think it should be
If the
partial,
community
though.
is not feeling this guy, he does not get a badge. Sorry, you've come to the end of your internship, but you didn't make the cut.
Right.
You got to go.
I agree because the reason why I say they need to work in the community that they serve is now that people can see the face of the person who is protecting them, and then the protector can see the faces of the people who they're serving.
Yeah, it's a relationship. You are invested. You're relationally invested with these people.
Yep. And if you do things like community events, say you got 6 officers living in like a 12 block area, and they say once a month we're gonna do a community event where we serve the people, we'll have free food, we'll have this going on. Now that people trust you, you know what I'm saying? Like so when things do happen, people are more accountable. Oh, Officer so-and-so right around the corner, let me quit. Good dude. You know, people are more susceptible to being more conscious of what they do if they know whoever they're offending is around the corner. So I just think it'll be better if they just serve the community by living in that area. Lawmakers have to. They have to live in the district that they serve in.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed that, like, police officers now, like, they're not even from that side of town, but doing drive-arounds and stuff like that, doing surveillances on the area. They're not even from there.
Exactly. And that's not right, man.
All right, so that's about our time. I just want to give a shout out to Liberty Church. Your pastor's not black, right, Roger? No. Yeah, I saw that. I'm making a point here because they posted about what's going on and about supporting blacks and everything with police brutality. And we need more of that because a lot of non-black churches are not stepping up.
I ain't saying Jack did
it. But shout out to Liberty Church because they did. They said something. Yeah, they definitely. Shout out to you guys. I just said it, man. Start up a whole other show. That's my lane.
Right down in the boy.
There's a lot of Christians that's not black that's being valid right now. So, shout out to everybody out there who is speaking up, who's saying that this is wrong.
I love it.
Shout out to you guys. I am seeing, is there a lot of pushback? Yeah, but I am seeing a lot of people change their point of views. I'm seeing it a lot. I'm seeing it a lot where certain celebrities were like, Black lives don't matter, like all lives matter. I'm seeing it. There's a few that I follow and I'll be like, man, I don't agree with them, but I'm just following on this. And now they're like, you know what? I was wrong. I get it. You know what I mean? A lot of people are changing their views. A lot of things is changing. So, shout out to that. I'm not, let's not just be on a negative tip here.
Yeah. A lot of folks are starting to quit messing with Kaepernick so much too, bro. They're like, all right, I get it now.
Right. I shared a post with somebody who was saying,
we are so sorry, Kaepernick.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all seen it too. They even considering giving him one of the quarterback jobs. They were talking about it today.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just wait to see when that happens. But
because you turns out you were actually right. So ball back.
I'm sorry we was racist back then.
Right,
but we think you should give you out.
We kept telling you we don't like the way you protest, and now you're complaining about how everybody else is protesting.
We're sorry about your peaceful protesting.
So real quick, Jarron.
Hey, y'all, I gotta get up out of here. I got another appointment.
All right, thanks for joining us. Jay
Appreciate
Reed,
having me.
real quick, talk about what you got going on. Next week.
Next Monday, we are doing a live concert session. We're going to do it down at the Living Soul Production studio. So we're going to go down there and do a little something. We got T. Barlow on the list. We got, I'm sorry, my brain is short place. We got JT, we got JC, and DJ Flyness, and we got Tim Moore. So we're going to go forward next week. You know, we kind of want to push it, give some more positivity into the community along with what's going on. Hopefully, Roger, that might be able to make a guest appearance, and, you know, we just going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there now.
That sounds good. So we're about to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for joining in on this conversation. If you're watching, guys, make sure you hit me up so I can tag you in this video. It's going to play on Thursday, maybe about 6:30. So it'll run until about 8:30. So everybody will be watching. Again, today is Tuesday blackout. So we're not posting on social media. At least I'm not anyway. So that's why we're not running the show today. And plus, I just don't have enough time to edit it about how long the show is. Also, so anybody want to say any last thoughts before we get out of here? We got a couple more minutes.
Go Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Anybody else? All right, so thank you guys for rocking with us. It's the Humble Kingz Radio Show, Omaha's #1 Christian hip hop radio show. Peace out. I will play some videos for you guys after this also.
Humble Kingz Radio Show.
Good talk, guys.
Only Jesus can save us. Got the power in us to free us from this world. And Christ is the door, run the Father, Jimmy, in, cause the word of the Spirit it burns. The beginning and the end of the go, be in that new flow. There's more than this. No question. They knew in Christ, and I know that they do dislike how he's holy, yet truly life loud. I will live life loud. I will live life loud. Live loud. I will live life loud.